It's good. Yeah, I hear you. You good.
Yeah, I've been
It's good,
having
man.
trouble with my phone all week.
It happens
Can
so.
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, cool.
I hear you. You good.
Okay, got you.
What's been
How
going
you
on, man?
been?
Chilling,
Uh,
chilling. Man, the city is lit right now. We lit for this game. It's been great. The weather's good.
yeah, I'm happy for the Knicks, man. I don't really have a particular rooting interest,
Right.
but I would love to see the Knicks at least make
Oh,
it to the finals. Uh,
I hope. I
I feel
hope.
like had
Uh,
their the Celtics. They've been to the big dance
hmm
2 years now. It seems like it's
hmm
going on 3 years and haven't punched their ticket.
Right.
These moments are very fleeting. Like you never know when uh, you know uh, a team will make it to the
Right.
distance. So it's not very often when you see the Knicks play with this much tenacity and
hmm
just looking to uh, humiliate their opponent. Especially the comments made from Joel Embiid.
Bro,
You should have kept those
it's
comments to
been like
yourself.
a lot of petty back and forth. The Empire State Building banned him, so he can't come there. And then for Philly, they don't want no Nick fans at the game. Like they're actually stopping you at the entrance. And if you have Nick get on, they're refusing to have you in. So no, I want to see how this play out because the Philly fans don't support them. And if you don't have the Philly fans supporting the home team and the Nick fans are there, what are they gonna do? They don't want an empty arena. You know what I'm saying?
That's bad business. If the
Oh,
word
the
gets
Philly
out
fans
that
called in. The Philly fans called in and to radio and let them know like, yo, we're not gonna show up at the game until they get past round one and they actually in the finals. The Philly fans said that out of their own mouth. So what are they gonna do? You can't have an empty arena for a playoff game.
well, that's the Sixers' fault. When your loyalty is conditional and you will only show up once the Sixers make it to the championship round,
Exactly.
you're leaving the gate wide open for the Knicks to fill up the arena.
hmm
And that's bad business anyway for an arena to deny entry to opposing fans.
And I
If
know
anything,
people in Philly that they don't even support the Sixers. So they when it comes to the Philly, they support the Eagles, and you know how they are with they're fickle with the Eagles also. So
I mean the Sixers fans that were denied entry,
mhm,
I would seriously pursue hiring a lawyer
it's
and
good.
and bringing a lawsuit based on discrimination because there's a good case to be made that whoever was denied entry was discriminated against, and
Yeah,
they could that lawyer for the client they could make a case on any front.
right. But this is all in retaliation for what the Empire State Building did with refusing Embiid. I'm gonna send Eric the link. I only plan on staying on here till 9 because that's when the game starts.
Where
You know what I mean? But I wanted to like just go live for like an hour and talk about the NBA playoffs with Rocker and with the NFL draft. What did you think about the NFL draft last week?
man, first of all, I work in Midtown, not far from downtown Detroit. So
Mm-hmm.
first of all,
Right.
uh, for working people that's leaving work from downtown, that's like murder. Like if traffic is gridlock, and I would have went,
Mm-hmm.
but not it was on a weeknight, and I already know from going to Lions games at Ford Field, if the game lets out
Uh,
around uh like around around 4 o'clock, you're not going to get home until 7. So knowing that, like the draft went until 11,
right.
11:30, I had to get to work. I had to get up early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very excited over the Lions trading up from 29 to 24, and I had no love lost for the
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys. Still, matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
the Cowboys owe the Lions more, but I'm thankful that we got to move up 5 draft choices, to pick up Terrence Arnold, cornerback, and that's a position that we desperately need help with because after
Right.
CJ Gardner, he was a hired gun and he did the best that he could, but we didn't get enough production for
Mm-hmm.
the amount of lip service he provided. So I'm happy that we got you know uh somebody with speed, that's hungry, that's young, from Alabama. Um, and also, even in the second round, I think at
Right.
number 64, we got an offensive tackle. I'm happy about that. Um, if the Lions
Con.
are going to if the Lions are going to make it to the Super Bowl, because this season is Super Bowl bound or bust, you have to find a way to protect not only the quarterback but open up some running lanes, because Jameer Gibbs at the worst possible time got blasted up the middle and got stuff for loss. But
Right.
enough about my Lions, man. What about your Giants?
Bro, they needed a QB, and I understand. Like we needed a receiver as much as a QB, and I'm glad they got Malik Neighbors. But who is he going to get the ball from if it's not Daniel Jones? Is it going to be Drew Lock? Like they needed a quarterback, and now they're saying, well, we're going to give Daniel Jones one more year to prove himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if that don't work out, no sweat. You got his money. You're going. What's up, Eric? You got his money. We're gonna draft a QB next year. I think this draft you had 6 quarterbacks taken in what the top 12. This was the year to get your QB for the future, and they needed a QB more than ever because I never liked Daniel Jones. I said it before. He had one good season, and because he took the team to the postseason, they gave him all that money. But what happens now? He got injured last year. So what happens now? He's coming off of an Achilles injury, and this is like the last year again for him to prove himself. So if he take the team to the playoffs this year, then what? But they're gonna keep him for like another 4 years. Like no, I think they needed to draft a young QB, Drake May or JJ McCarthy who ended up going to Minnesota. They could have had one of
Hell
those
no.
QBs. Instead, they stuck with bum ass Daniel Jones, but we got our receiver. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not happy at all with the Giants pick.
But in your division, I'm curious. What's the because you got the Eagles and you got the Cowboys that are kind of
Mhm.
they've been the top dogs in the NFC East for
Mhm.
2 consecutive years. Is like the wild card, but is that like the best case scenario
The
for the
wild card is they
Giants?
actually picking the Redskins to make the playoffs.
The who?
Really, the
That's
Redskins?
the wild card. They're actually picking the Redskins because if you think about it, none of the NFC East teams, nah, they haven't. Not the Giants, not the Cowboys, not the Skin. No team has repeated in that division. So they're actually picking the Redskins to win it this year. You know what I'm saying? Like think
Okay.
about it.
I
Like
mean, to
Dallas.
me, that
What
just
did they?
seems
What did
like
Dallas do? All Dallas did. All the Cowboys did was re-sign Ezekiel Elliott for what? He's done. He didn't have a
to
good
me that
season
just
with the
seems like
Patriots last year.
any mighty mo, to arbitrarily pick the Redskins because no team in the NFC East has repeated as division champions
Yeah,
consecutively.
it's been like at
I'm
least I
not
want
I'm
to say
not
at least
buying
15
that.
years. I'm going off of what the analysts are picking. It's been at least 15 years, maybe more, since the last NFC East team has won the division consecutively. None of them have done it. The Eagles, to me, I think they're going to win it. If they come back and Jalen Hurts is right, they got some pieces. I'm picking the Eagles to win that. They gave what's it AJ Brown a new contract. You know what I'm saying? They got Saquon Barkley. They got our running back on their team. Giants fans are still pissed off with that. I'm picking the Eagles, but a lot of the other
Yeah.
analysts I've seen, they're picking the Redskins. They got the new QB that they drafted. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
So I don't know. The Cowboys haven't done nothing. I mean, even with the Cowboys not doing anything but signing Ezekiel Elliott, they're still a favorite to win. They can still win that division. They're still better than
just
my
out of
team.
curiosity, as a Giants fan, to the people in Giants Nation, do y'all claim Tiki Barber? Does he speak for y'all?
Nah, not anymore. I mean, at one point he was one of ours. He don't speak for us. I don't understand that. I just think you know what it is. He
Yeah.
left right before he could win a ring with Eli, and I think he's been sour about that ever since.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Right before we got those two rings from Eli during the Eli era, Tiki had already left, and I think
That
if
was
he had stayed a little bit longer, he
2011.
would have.
That
Huh?
was 2011. He hasn't gotten over it in what,
Nah,
13 years?
nah. That was the last one.
It
I'm
be
talking
like
like the
that
first
sometimes.
one when we had Plaxico. That was what like 08, 07. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
think that
Yeah,
was
oh
He,
seven,
oh
oh
he
eight.
eight.
wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't there. Like I think that's what it is. It's sour grapes because he left a little bit too soon. So he hasn't really gotten over that, and now he's just like running his mouth at Giants. But I'm like, I don't even understand the whole thing with him and Saquon. I'm like, you haven't been on the Giants in like 20 years. Why are you even worried about Saquon? You know,
Mm.
I wanted Saquon to get his money and to stay a Giant because he deserved it. Even through the injuries, he was loyal to the Giants, and for the Giants to throw the bag at bum ass Daniel Jones and not pay your running back, it makes no damn sense.
Yeah, I,
And this is why
y'all
we're
need
bad
quarterback.
now. This is why we're bad now. We need a QB.
Yeah,
This was the
y'all,
draft to get the
yeah,
QB.
y'all could have any quarterback out of the damn draft. Y'all could have got Michael Pitt Jr., but my Falcons got him, so.
And even with that,
I would have took him over JJ
even
McCarthy
with
because
that
I
whole
think
thing
he's
with
average as fuck.
the whole thing with the Falcons, I'm like, bro, Kirk Cousins has always
I didn't know
been
that.
a bridge quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback. He's not in the top 10 when it comes to QBs in the league. Like for him to you made a whole career out of like what? He got paid like $300 million just being a backup, and you're bitching to the Falcons because you feel some type of way that they drafted Michael Penix. I don't understand that.
I'm not mad at the
You
draft
don't
pick.
get that kind of
I just don't
respect.
see
And
I just don't see him as a
oh, my
first
bad.
round quarterback. I just don't see him as a first round draft pick. I wasn't mad at it, but I'm like he ain't no first round draft pick as a quarterback.
So
I mean, but they did make up. They did make up
mhm,
for drafting some key receivers and people on defense. So we got Jace McClendon from Alabama. So there's a good running back and stuff.
right,
You don't get
right.
that kind of respect
But
until,
I mean, like mm, right,
or I was going to say, you don't get that kind of respect until you've won
right,
several playoff games and you've been a franchise difference maker for that team.
exactly,
Like I've seen Kirk Cousins play in the
exactly.
NFC North. Like he will dazzle
Mhm,
in the first half of the season, and then in the second half of the season, he'll start throwing ducks.
right, facts. And he won one postseason game, one, and he made $300 million. You set for life. So why you've always been
I wish I could make that. I wouldn't be saying
he's
shit.
always been
I would be
a
like, you
bridge
teach them
quarterback. He's a
kids.
bridge QB. Like everybody, any team that he's been on, it was always a bridge to get to the quarterback of the future for that franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like you
I'm
and the
just
thing is, you
I'm
was
just
in
mad they
Minnesota and
guaranteeing
you
him all that
lost.
damn money.
Hey, in Minnesota. He lost to bum ass Daniel Jones. You lost to Daniel Jones on your home
Yeah, I can't
field like
lose to
that.
that bum ass motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
so
they.
why complain? Like I don't get it. Like you was not. He's not in the top 10 QB all time. He's not a top 10
I
QB
wouldn't
now.
care as long as they give me my fucking money. Shit. I mean, the Vikings got JJ McCarthy, so they should do something with him.
Right.
Because I
Exactly.
mean, throughout his career in college, I didn't really find him as an elite quarterback. Even though they won a national championship this past season, though, but they
Right.
got that whole scandal going on up there with Michigan and shit. They had some
Right.
NCAA
And
violations and stuff.
they
So yeah.
had there was rumors that McCarthy was maybe the Chargers were gonna trade for him because the new coach for the Chargers was his coach in Michigan.
Oh yeah, fucking
Reg was good.
I forgot that nigga's name. Yeah, they got the Chargers got Larry McConkey out of Georgia. He a good receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be a good
Right.
slot receiver and stuff.
Yeah.
The
And
fuck
they
that
lost a
right.
couple of receivers. They had what's his name? The dude that went to the Bears. They let him go to the Bears. Mike Williams, I think he went to the Jets, but he's injury prone.
Caleb Williams
Keenan
got
Allen went to the Bears.
Caleb Williams went to the Bears, so that'll be good.
Yeah. So and they got their new receivers. They got Roma Dunez, and they got DJ. So they straight. Hopefully Caleb Williams show improve and finally take the Bears back to the playoffs. I think he's gonna do that. I've seen him playing at USC. I think he's good.
I'm glad I'm glad y'all didn't get no fucking Joe Milton from Tennessee. That nigga's a backup quarterback for real. He couldn't do nothing at Tennessee. That motherfucker stayed throwing the ball. Georgia was tearing his ass up this past season.
Right.
They stay they
mhm,
I was saying they stay running that high power offense. Joyce Hyper always has that Tennessee offense running that high power, that quick offense shit.
right.
And shit don't work
So
on less on certain teams and stuff.
I think the Bears definitely was the winners in the draft and getting some defense, getting some offense. They got a little of everything, and that's what they needed. So there's no excuse now for them not to be at least a wild card team. If they don't win that division, it's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough in that division that they in, but they have no excuse now. If
And, and,
Caleb
and I
Williams don't do it for them, then I don't know. Just shut the whole damn franchise down.
and I want to say this to the Raiders fans. Y'all don't know what y'all got in Brock Bowers. That dude is elite, man. So I don't know why y'all was complaining. We got 3
Right.
tight ends. Well, you got another one right now. Damn, that
Yeah.
kid's gonna be a future Hall of Famer, bro. The things that he was doing at Georgia, man, is revolutionary at
They
tight
got
end position.
weapons. So I mean, I don't know if they're gonna. I know they're saying they're not gonna keep Derek those are the Derek Carr, not Derek Carr. Is Derek Carr? They're not gonna keep Derek at QB. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this might be his last year to prove himself. And if you got 3 tight ends, use them in the offense. Use them with Devontae Adams. That's because I saw Aaron Rodgers trying to get Devontae for the Jets. That's his boy from Green Bay. He trying to get him over to New York. So if you manage to keep Devontae Adams, put those 3 tight ends in the offense and see what they could do. It's not like it hasn't been done before. Buffalo used 2 tight ends in their offense.
Y'all better use all them tight ends that you can use. You'll be stupid as fuck not to use Brock Bowers. I'm telling you now.
Right.
That,
They ain't got
that
nobody else
motherfucking
there.
nasty.
It's
That
Devontae
motherfucking nasty.
and Brock.
I'm telling you that motherfucking nasty, man. He could have won the Heisman if he was at Georgia. I mean,
Right.
he got 2 Mackey Award winners. He got 2 Mackey trophies for the best tight end. Like, come on now.
Use your tight ends, man. And I think the Bears made out good. I think Minnesota had to get JJ McCarthy because if they didn't draft a QB, Justin Jefferson was out the door. So they had to get that QB. And they got some pretty good receivers there too. So I think they'll be good. Who Who else? Who else? The Patriots got Drake May.
Yeah,
You don't like Drake May?
hell no.
No. I don't think they
I
need to
think
start him right away. I think, but they always say, "Oh, they don't need to start these plays right away." And what happens
you
on?
need to play. Y'all need to play in the what they call this shit, the off season. Y'all need to play
Mm,
that shit. Y'all need to play as soon as possible.
yeah,
Cause
preseason.
I know next year's draft picks with quarterbacks gonna be good too. You're gonna
Yeah.
have Carson Beck. You're gonna have Jalen Miro from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have some good dudes though.
Whatever happened to eat the Manning kid at Tennessee?
Oh, you now he played for Texas.
Oh, you in Texas? Okay. So, but he
Yeah.
ain't declared the draft or nothing.
Nah, most likely he gonna probably do it next year or the year after, cause they got fucking what's that quarterback for Texas? They got him playing
Okay.
fucking I forgot that kid's name, but he
Yeah,
was playing in
I heard.
he was playing in a spring game because Georgia was supposed to get him a couple years ago, but he ended up going to Texas and stuff.
I heard all about the Manning dude, the young Manning. I think he's the uncle. No, he's the nephew for Eli,
Yeah,
or
something
is it
like that.
Peyton?
He ain't even played yet. He a backup.
Oh, he a backup, right?
I think he gonna play this shit though.
Yeah, they got to, because if
I
he's
mean,
a Manning and he's good, more than likely he's gonna be good.
then Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC now, so they got to get ready for the SEC football because it ain't like Big 12 football and SEC football are two different things.
Yeah, but I mean they don't have to start Drake May right away. I mean, because New England got to build around this kid. They don't have no offense. They got to build around him, get some receivers. I know they got. I think they still got Hunter Hurst, the tight end from when he used to be with the Chargers. Then they still got him. But they got to build around him first before they just throw him out there like they did with Mac Jones, and you saw what happened with that.
Injury prone.
So a lot of these, I don't feel like all these QBs should start right away. Like we saw what happened with Anthony Richardson last year when the Colts drafted him. He played a
Yeah,
couple.
AR 15.
Yeah, they played a couple games and then he got injured for the season. Like they don't need to start some of these QBs right away. Drake May
Yeah.
don't need to start right away. Caleb Williams definitely need to start right away.
Yeah, that fingernail polish wearing bastard, he can start anytime he wants to.
Bro, did you see like and him and his mom was him his mom and his I think his girlfriend was wearing the same nail polish?
I seen a lot of them niggas up there with them white bitches. They're
I'm
gonna
like,
be broke
bro,
in a
what is
couple
that?
years. They always do that. I'm like, why is these niggas with all these white bitches?
Man.
Damn. They be crying and shit.
That's when they smell the money. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's typical. I'm like, y'all niggas ain't learning nothing from these old ass NFL players.
Oh man, that was crazy. But I
But
think like, huh?
But college athletes going into the pros is like NASDAQ. The New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
Like these women, they know your draft status. They know where you're projected to go. They know your potential earnings.
Yep.
They're already planning that out.
Yeah.
And to me, I think the agents of these players, they don't care. They just want their cut. It's for, these players got to start peeping game. They got to start recognizing who's in your circle for the right reasons and who's in your circle for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They be knowing that they just want some ass. These kids are young, but I'm trying to keep the wealth in amongst my people because these niggas be broke in a couple of years. Then they be wondering where all the money went. You know where the money went, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. And it'd be too late once they get them pregnant.
Shit,
it'd be too late. They stuck.
But the way things are going, in a couple of years, they'll end up with a podcast deal and
right.
They'll start wagging their fingers at the younger players that's going to make the same mistakes that they made.
Facts. Yeah. Look at RG3. He's a prime example. He came in with a white bitch, played for a couple of seasons, got injured, and then now he's on ESPN. And he still should be playing right now.
That motherfucker wasn't gonna do nothing in the NFL anyway. Just be happy you got that Heisman, and congratulations to Reggie Bush for getting his Heisman Trophy back.
Yes, well deserved. Why I don't understand why they took it away from him anyway.
For, the NIL deals are not like they used to be. See, back then you couldn't take shit in certain ways. Now these players are getting paid.
Yeah.
They should have been getting paid. These damn universities making all this damn money. They coming out with the NCAA college football game. They're gonna be making hella money.
Well, so they want them to struggle while they're in college?
No, they getting paid now. They got the whole
That's
NIL
good.
deals and everything now.
They deserve it. Why not? They playing college games. What if they get injured? Who's gonna pay that medical bill?
I mean, you look at these kids now. Where do you think they're getting all this jewelry and drip from? You think that shit just coming from the sky? They getting all that money.
Right, but before, when they were getting the money, they had to get it under the table.
Violations,
it's illegal to do that.
I mean, if I'm playing college football, you got to pay me something. Shit.
Yeah.
Because the NCAA wants to maintain that amateur athletes, they are student athletes, they don't get paid. Their currency is the knowledge that they get from going to class and learning life skills to prepare them for the real world. But in the real world, everybody has to make a living. That goes for people that are working their way through school. So why would it be different for athletes, especially when they are using their body to increase the value of the university and to pad the pockets of athletic directors?
Right. So what happens to like all of the other past plays that they took away the Heisman? Like remember OJ Mayo? They took away his trophy coming out of USC. Also,
I didn't know that Reggie Bush got his back because it might be different for different folks and shit. And the Philadelphia 76ers to be ashamed of themselves of what they did to that Allen Iverson trophy. Y'all need y'all ass whooped, bro. The city of Philadelphia, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself, bro. That little ass trophy.
That shit don't even look like him.
Whatever the fuck that shit was. Like, that shit small as fuck, bro.
It don't even look like him.
Motherfucker, y'all didn't do Rocky Balboa statue like that, and he don't even box.
Right.
I thought it was a G.I. Joe action figure.
Motherfucker.
You remember those things back in the day? I thought they were molded like a G.I. Joe action figure because it was so small in stature, and the way it was sculpted, it looked
that shit was made out of
kind of amateurish. It looked like somebody that just began sculpting would have created.
Yeah,
I'd have been like, I ain't accepting this shit. Y'all better do better.
See, we had like G.I. Joe, and then it was like the bootleg one that was like it was just like molded, and it didn't move.
The Chinese
version. It would come with like the parachute. There's like a parachute in the box. We had that shit. That was the bootleg version.
That's way before my time, so
Yeah, that shit was. I don't even think they sell those anymore, but
yes, they do on eBay.
That was bad.
Coke prices. I ain't opened this shit, dude, since 1986. It's still in the box. $5,000
on eBay and shit. Yeah. That shit. They got to give him a bigger trophy. Like he to me, like he played injured. He didn't take off no nights. He didn't care who he played, whether it was a championship team or a last place team. Like that shit don't happen now. Now they got load management. Now they got you liable to not even see LeBron playing in a Lakers game. It's like people pay their hard-earned money to go to these games, and you might not even see the superstar play because he
said, "Fuck it, I'm waiting till my son come in the league. I ain't playing no more."
Day. You know what I mean? So it's just a different era now compared to like back in the day.
Yep.
But if how sports media is, like if social media was around in when Allen Iverson was playing for the 76ers, man, Jason Whitlock would have been writing about him up and down, man. And I'm not even sure, like, and like the thing about it is that there's a certain, I won't name this person, but a certain commentator and journalist on ESPN, he, waxes poetic about, when he came on my show, I gave him, the leeway to express whatever was on his chest, and we had a good working relationship. Not even saying, furthermore, that you had a lot of critical things written about him, about Allen Iverson, that you swept underneath the rug. And it's just amazing how some of these guys, once they get to a certain strata in the business, they act like people don't have memories.
Right. I agree.
And Allen Iverson, he paid the cost, and some of it was self-inflicted, but it doesn't stop, but it doesn't diminish what he contributed in the NBA. Especially being anti-authoritarian, not bucking to the commissioner, and just wearing his raw, authentic self on his sleeve.
Right.
Now you look at these dudes. They enter the arena at the beginning of games like a fashion show, like they at Fashion Week in Europe.
Yeah.
They up there like Jim Jones on the runway.
He was just too real for the NBA and for the media, and he's nobody is perfect, and he made his mistakes, but that man played hard every night for that franchise, and all he wanted to do was win a championship. You know what I'm saying? And how he lived his life off the court. The NBA didn't like that. David Stern did not like that. That's why he implemented the dress code. Oh, you can't wear 3 chains and a do-rag. You're scaling off our sponsors. It's because of Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson set the tone for how all these players look now with all the tats and the cornrows and everything. And
that shit light work compared to what these niggas wearing now. These niggas wearing
I know, but it was from that. It was him that started that whole thing. Before then, that wasn't going on. And even back in the 80s, like when they actually had plays wear chains. If you look at old photos and game footage of Michael Jordan was wearing like 2 chains while he was playing ball, and that was nobody cared. But because it was Allen Iverson, because he was from the hood and he wasn't kissing nobody's ass and he was himself, they didn't like that. They wanted to.
But you know why? But you know why the NBA is so hypocritical? Is because the way the NBA markets is merchandise. Mm-hmm. The apparel itself, with the hoodies, mm-hmm. With the fitted caps.
Yeah.
All of the way that the apparel looks, the aesthetic is hip hop.
Right.
So the NBA is making money from something that they forbade and took exception to. Mm-hmm. So they're literally eating their cake and having their way at the same time.
Right. I agree. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you gotta let these players beat it. I mean, it's stressful for them just to be in the media spotlight, and especially if you're like the superstar of the franchise. That's hard as it is. It's like let them be comfortable in what they wear and just do them. Like, why is it an issue that a player comes in with an entourage or they got 4 chains on, or you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. I don't understand that.
Now, I'm gonna have a little fun just to play devil's advocate, and I think Tribro knows where I'm going.
No. Where are you going with this? I want to hear.
Bro, when Allen Iverson put out 40 bars, now, on one hand, I like that AI put out a rap song. The rapping wasn't good. I mean, it was all right. I mean, compared to Shaq, that's pretty lofty.
Right.
But is it possible that David Stern, once he heard 40 bars, he was worried this may catch fire. And
I feel like David Stern didn't like Allen Iverson though. Like he had to deal with him because he was one of the best players in the league, and you know that year when he won the MVP, he had to acknowledge him. But the fact that he put in the dress code because of what Iverson was wearing, and it's almost like saying, "Oh well, you're the reason why you're scaring off our sponsors because you're too hood, and you're not like a Tim Duncan." You know, you're not like a Jason Kidd. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean,
meanwhile,
it's a good
Jason
thing.
Kidd was like beating up his damn wife. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like Iverson was just too real for them at that time.
I mean, the NBA still have different personalities. You just don't want the same cookie cutter ass nigga.
They do, but it's like with Iverson, it was like because he didn't give a damn about what anybody thought about him. You know what I'm saying? And you know the whole practice rant. He's so much more than just a rant about practice. It's like even he said it himself. Like when people see him in the street, that's all they remember is him ranting about practice. You know what I'm saying? Like this man took the Sixers to the finals. Like that's the last time they went to the finals. Joel Embiid is not going to do that.
But you know, a lot of that is due to a lot of journalists using that soundbite to get at Allen Iverson.
Right.
Because Allen Iverson, I'm sure, pissed off a lot of journalists. He wasn't. He may not have been the most affable person during an interview. Mm-hmm. So I believe once he said that, we're going to make an example out of him. We're going to reduce this man's legacy to one sentence.
Right. That was before social media. That was like their way of getting back at him. Like, but it was like I supported Iverson because he was a hard player. He was a great player. I watched him at Georgetown. You know, I watched him in those bad, terrible years when he first came to the Sixers, and they didn't give him no help, and he had to play with people like Eric Snow. You know what I'm saying? And Larry Hughes? Remember him? You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't giving him no help, and he took that garbage ass Sixers team to the finals against the Lakers.
You know what I'm saying? Dikembe Mutombo come later.
Right. Yeah. They and Andre Iguodala came later, but they was already done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like give this man credit. Like he took a shitty Sixers team with no Embiid, with no type of Tyrese Maxey type of player, and put them in the 2000 finals. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So he's always been one of my favorite players, and the fact that he remained true to himself is what's important, because you see a lot of these players that once they get the fame and the money, they get different. They get real different. You know what I'm saying? Even some of our favorite rap artists like a Kanye West, he got real cocky and arrogant once he got that money.
Once he hit Kim from the back, that nigga just had a heel turn.
Yeah. It's a totally different Ye now than it was back in 02, 03.
This nigga dressing up like he in the witness protection program now.
You know, just weird shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that to me is the real faces that you need to represent your company or your league, your brand. Not people that they're like fake. Oh, well, this person don't get into no trouble that we know of, and then later on you find out that he caught a rape charge and they tried to cover it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
remember when Ben Roethlisberger got in trouble for that rape charge?
Yeah,
and they NFL tried to cover that shit up real quick. Now if that was Lamar Jackson, they would have been like, yeah, he's a rapist. Nope. He did it.
You know, but you know, like in corporate America, the higher you go, like in especially in the executive seat, the black people that is usually in those spaces, they're the good Negroes. They're the non-threatening. You know, they toe the company line. They are not going to say or do anything that is going to ruffle white people's feathers.
Right.
And that is reflected in how the NBA is marketed.
Yeah.
Especially during from post-game press conferences, mm-hmm. the way players present themselves, like you can look at a player doing a post-game press conference and they're just pursing their words and they're just biting their tongue because mm-hmm. what they want to say they can't.
Right. LeBron. LeBron does that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and he could easily say what he wanted to, but he's very strategic on what he says.
And and a lot of these, and a lot of times, what LeBron says, there are people that are going to pick it apart and use dog whistles,
Yeah,
to alert, certain people in the media. Oh, this guy, LeBron, he's talking about, certain white people like it's coded.
right.
Like even when LeBron says something that we all can understand, there's always that black person that's going to blow the whistle
Yeah,
and alert, the dominant society what LeBron is really saying. And those kind of people, it's hard to stamp out.
facts. Where do you think he goes next season? 'Cause I know they said he's opting out. He's not gonna stay with the Lakers. Wait, you see him going to another super team?
I ain't going
Well,
nowhere.
I do believe he's leaving LA because I think he's seen enough of the inner workings of upper management.
Right.
He's seen like this team has hit its ceiling.
Yeah.
So I don't believe he will, do the super team thing anymore because we've seen too many times where the the co-stars of the super teams, they take too long to warm up to each other, and the whatever the reward is not worth the time and investment it takes to really get it going.
Right. They saying some people saying the Warriors. I'm like, I can't see him and Steph playing together.
Yeah, this polar opposites because I've been saying
Yeah.
something. To
I mean, to me, that'd be like desperation. Like you're really joining. I mean, KD did it. So I mean, I don't know if LeBron want to take that route and be like, oh well, KD did it. Let me do it. You know, because then it's like it's no longer LeBron. It's no longer Steph's team. Then it becomes LeBron's team. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I felt like when he went to Miami. It was no longer Wade's team. It was LeBron, and then Wade was like co-captain, and they totally forgot about Chris Bosh. They ignored him.
Well, first of all, like I believe, like who's going to coach that team because Steve Kerr is probably going to be fired.
Nah.
So who's going to coach? Who's going to coach LeBron
he gave that
and
team
Steph?
four championships. Why would they fire him?
Yo, man, sometimes a change in voice is good.
Right.
Like in the past 3 years under Steve Kerr's watch, he done seen Draymond Green sabotage an entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole
I don't like that nigga.
get snuffed by Draymond. This is all under Steve Kerr's watch.
Right.
And at some point, you have to separate past achievements and assess where the team is going. What is the pulse of the team now?
But is it necessarily the coach's fault, or is Draymond the problem that they need to get rid of?
He's the problem they need to get rid of.
You know what I'm saying? They signed him to a new contract, so he ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? And it's like, and he's done this time and time again. He even cost them that championship the year that the Cavs won because they had the Cavs dead to rights, and because Draymond got suspended, the Cavs came back and won that finals. Steph Curry could have had 5 rings. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's more of him the issue than the coach. But I do agree with you that Steve Kerr don't look like the type that he don't look like the type that he speaks up a lot. Because you're not gonna do that shit on the Pat Riley's watch.
I've been cut your ass.
You know what I'm saying? There's Phil Jackson. You're not gonna do that shit on the Phil Jackson's watch. You know what I'm saying? But Steve Kerr is like, because all he knows is championships. He's won it all his life. it's like I don't think he's that type of coach that's gonna sit Draymond down and be like, "Oh, you're suspended." Like we're gonna suspend you before the league suspends you.
I mean, that's part of the problem because Triborough, Steph Curry isn't getting any younger. He's not going to play forever. This is the best of this is the prime years of Steph Curry's playing career.
Yeah.
At some point, there has to be a voice that will find a way to maximize the talent that's on the floor. And I'm not saying Steve Kerr is a weak coach. Of course not. He's a great strategist. But sometimes some things can run its course. What you did in the past will always be celebrated, but in any business, you have to project where what its viability is.
Right.
If you already see that there's infighting among players and there's instability within the organization, the Golden State Warriors would be fools not to at least consider a change in leadership.
Right. So who you all see going to the finals this year?
I don't see any team dethroning the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference.
I'm looking forward to that series too, Minnesota and Denver. I think that's gonna be a good series.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing, just how good the Minnesota Timberwolves will play because they've been wolfing. They've been selling their wolf tickets, and they've been very mouthy. Now it's time to show their mettle.
Facts. This is the perfect test for Anthony Edwards. Let's see how much of a real superstar he is now.
I think he can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That one that's gonna be a good one. Boston won, so they're waiting. I think they're gonna play the winner of Cleveland and Orlando. I haven't been watching that series at all. I don't know. I don't care who wins in that one. I haven't seen the score yet, but last time I checked, Indiana was beating Milwaukee, so I don't know if they won. But I want my Knicks to end Philly season tonight. Like we don't need no game 7. Like end their season and their hopes tonight. Let us get a couple of days off and get ready for Indiana or Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that it was all good a year ago for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bucks about to lose. John Dixon said Bucks about to lose. Okay, and he's a Bucks fan, so
it was all good just a year ago, wasn't it?
It was
for the Bucks.
Now the issue with them is it Doc Rivers or is it just the team, the way that the team is constructed?
I think a lot of it has to do with the way the team is constructed, because with or without Doc Rivers, they have a hard time, number one, rebounding. They've been out-rebounded badly. And I don't know, for some reason, Dame Lillard, you can't get Dame Lillard and Giannis to play at their best at the same time.
Right. I don't think it's Dame. I think Dame just hasn't been on a good team. You know what I'm saying? And he probably don't know how to play alongside another superstar because he didn't have that in Portland. But I mean, unless you count what's the name, McCullough, a superstar, but Dame didn't have that. So I think I've heard people say they need to get rid of Dame. I don't think Dame is the issue. I think
what? Get rid of Dame?
I don't think Dame is I've heard that. I've heard people say they need to trade Dame. They need to get rid of him. That's what people.
I want to know who these people are.
It's not me. I think Dame Lillard is a superstar. I would like him on the Knicks, but we don't need him no more. But it's.
To say that Dame is the problem or Dame needs to go, that is complete idiocy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dame is so valuable, even in his struggles. Like it wasn't. I never believed that the Bucks was like one piece away from getting back to the finals.
Right.
Yeah, they did lose.
Oh, they lost. Wow. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think ever since they got rid of Holiday, that's when the problem started. Holiday was their dude. And they said, "Oh well, we got Dame over here. We gotta get Dame. Let's trade away Holiday." And sometimes you might not need the
could
big
have had a
shiny car.
3-headed monster, at least 2, with an
Yeah,
extra player to back you up.
you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. I feel like they gotta retool the team, but it's also Doc. Also, Doc Rivers is not a winning coach. He could get you to the dance, but then he's gonna leave you at the dance. You're not gonna drive you home when the dance is over.
You at the altar.
You're gonna leave at the altar, right? He ain't married.
I mean, but they bet the farm on Doc Rivers. Like
that's because
they gave him a handsome contract.
Look at all the teams he's been a part of. He got the clout now that it's like he can always get another head coaching gig. Even if the Bucks fire him now, somebody gonna hire him tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But he's not a winning coach in the postseason. That team is old and has no defense. That's another thing. They're getting older.
That one championship from 2008 has covered a multitude of sins.
Right.
Like that championship, it's covered so many of Doc Rivers' blemishes. Mm-hmm. Like his inability to stop the bleeding when they have a big lead and they can't, put a stop to an opponent's scoring run.
Right.
That's an indictment.
I agree. It's 118-96. So Indiana is like blowing them out right now. It's like 1 minute left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's over.
I don't know. I definitely think Doc is gonna get fired, and what changes they make with the team, we'll have to wait and see over the summer. But I don't think it's Dame. I don't think Dame is the problem at all.
He don't care. He like, fuck that. Just pay me more money.
Real quick, what did y'all hear the Kendrick diss? What do y'all think about the diss record? To me, I think Kendrick scorched Drake. I don't think there's no coming back. But what is y'all think? Y'all got a chance to hear it?
I heard a little bit of it, but from what I was hearing, he was hitting that nigga with Mike Tyson uppercuts. So I gotta listen to it like fully and process the flame emojis coming out of Kendrick Lamar's mouth. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know if Drake and his ghostwriters can AI generate anything else after this, but let me just say this: it's just been like a hip hop Royal Rumble for this past couple of weeks. Everybody's just jumping into beef for apparent reason. You got Chris Brown and Quavo. You got this nigga over here, that nigga. Rick Ross over here eating chicken wings. He dissing niggas. Drake got his ghostwriters over here. He dissing niggas. King Kendrick got the thorns on his head. He coming with the devilish flow. He's up here killing niggas. It's just everybody over here just killing niggas and shit.
I think one of the things about Euphoria that hasn't really been talked about enough is that when Kendrick mentioned Drake buying the crown ring that Tupac owned and framing Drake's use of artificial intelligence to simulate the voice of Tupac, what he was really saying is that you buy Tupac's crown ring, you wear the hoodie that Tupac wore and above the rim. Right. Drake, you can even wear Tupac's old drawers. What you can't do is, wear things of Tupac to try to compensate for what you lack. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think Kendrick was getting at, is that your music is vapid. It
Yeah.
is superficial. There is no soulfulness. There is no realness in you. Like everything that you rap about is completely, thin and not interesting.
Right.
And, it's made for an audience that could care less about where rap music came from. And another thing that I think um, a lot of Drake fans can't deny is that you know Drake made a lot of references to you know Kendrick, you're not on the pop charts, you're not lit like I am, and Kendrick plainly said, you're the only one that likes being famous. Like you
Right.
get a kick out of being on social media and trolling and doing things for attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like my life doesn't revolve around the music industry.
Right.
Like I have things that I am much more passionate about than just being at the top of the charts. So uh, I do, Euphoria. It got the job done. I mean, I wasn't crazy about some of the delivery and Kendrick's voice.
Right.
Some of it is due to Kendrick, being animated and especially when he emphasized Pusha T, like the way he said that.
Right.
It was, it kind of grated on my nerves, but the points that he made far outweighs any of those critiques.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That and I haven't paid attention to it because I just like Drake had a hard time with Pusha T. So how who really thought that he was gonna defeat Kendrick? I didn't think so. Oh, it was always Kendrick and Cole. That's how it went. Kendrick and Cole were the ones to beat. And
All
Drake
the
is
other
not in that
participants
that
start
same
running
league to
in the
me.
Royal Rumble, man. Royal
You know what I'm
Rumble.
saying? Like I like his early music, but we knew what Drake
Yeah.
was. We already know what Drake is. Drake is not a lyricist like Fonte, like the one that he idolized. He's not that. He's not Benny. He's not Conway. He's not Kendrick and Cole. And
He's his own
he's already
person. He
showed
gonna
that.
be he gonna be
He
him.
showed that already. If he didn't show that before with this Euphoria, this song, Kendrick already showed he's far superior than Drake.
Yeah.
So I
Everybody
didn't care about the battle. When people was asking me what do I think, I'm like, I don't care. I didn't hear it. I just heard the
everybody
Kendrick
got their
this song and
strengths
that
and
was it.
weaknesses and shit.
Yeah, that the Kendrick this song was enough for me. So I'm like, that's all I needed to
Yeah.
hear.
Next week is gonna be somebody else dropping a diss
Yeah.
track. And the week after that,
And then the Rick Ross thing was comical. He made a video out of that shit.
that nigga knows and shit.
That shit was funny. They got a petition right now to stop Drake from using the N-word.
I mean, his dad's
Yo,
black though, so I
that
wouldn't
is
go that
crazy.
far. But
It's a real petition. Like it's
these
like
niggas is
thousands of
weird,
people
man.
signed it.
Like, damn. I mean,
Like
his mom's
they don't.
Jewish
That's
and
how
his
much
dad's
people
black.
don't like
But
Drake. They
like,
don't want
I
him
don't know.
saying the N-word at all.
And like I got, I watch Cam and Make show, as much as I can. I mean, they definitely have pedigree. I mean, they have, these are two guys that have had their share of
Beef.
lyrical spats on wax, so they're very qualified, to have any opinion they want.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious. I would love to ask Cam, what is it about Drake's push-ups that you find is that much more better than Euphoria? Because I think like the angle, he mentioned something like, how can you say, Drake can't use the N-word, but your wife is, half white. I don't even know if that's true, and nor do I really think it's important.
Exactly.
But I would just love to get a better idea of what his gauge on who is leading right now.
Cam, you know what it is? I think Cam is is trying to tap into Drake's audience by siding with Drake. You know,
I
like,
think
oh,
it's
let's do a
both because
feature.
either way,
So
both these
I could get
niggas'
some of
music
Drake's
gonna be played
fans.
regardless.
That's what that's about. He's a businessman too.
Yeah, Cam know what he's doing. I think
Yeah.
both these dudes is winning because they going back and forth with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Kendrick, like, he's getting them in the diss track though. But either way, these niggas' record sales are gonna sell regardless. So
Right.
these niggas keep talking about who's dead, your career's over with. You niggas don't still be listening to these folks' music. Like, I
Yeah.
don't really
But
get it.
like the real hip
Royal
hop
Rumble.
purists, they're gonna continue not to fuck with Drake.
Yeah,
Just
I ain't
because of
been paying
this.
attention to it. I like
You know what I mean?
most of his older work,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, his older work was better.
yeah,
His older work it had
some of his other work good too. But I'm not
yeah,
like a huge like dick rider of Drake. No,
right. But I mean we knew like even back in the 90s, we knew what MC Hammer was. We
yeah.
knew what he was. We knew he was not
Everybody
Q-Tip.
played their position. It was different styles.
Exactly.
I like
We
that.
knew this is like you got there's certain audiences that's gonna fuck with Hammer,
Yeah,
and then there's audiences that's gonna fuck with Q-Tip, and they're gonna fuck with Redman and Run DMC, and
yeah.
we knew what Hammer was back then, so it's nothing different.
Shit, a
You know what I
lot of
mean?
these
The only
niggas.
problem is like the young heads now, they don't realize that. They don't realize that Drake is not the same as Kendrick and J. Cole. He only sells
Some
more
of these
records, but he's not
some
the
of these
same
dudes
lyrical
wish they could
like that.
sell 10 million records. Like, they can't even go gold. Like, I
Right.
don't know.
Exactly.
Different strokes for different folks.
You know what I'm saying? Not 95% of the real lyricists don't go multi-platinum.
They either
And
go gold or
like,
platinum.
and to be honest with you, in 2024, Kendrick is a great MC, but as far as who I'm listening to,
Mm-hmm.
there are several MCs that that would outbar Kendrick.
Right.
One of them is my favorite MC of 2024, bar none. His name is Locksmith.
Oh yeah.
He has an album called No Atheist in the Foxhole.
Right.
Yo, that is a rap album in every sense of the word.
I gotta hear that.
Yo, it's it's called No Atheist in the Foxhole.
Okay.
And like he's everything. Like, if you can imagine prime Razzcast and prime Chino XL.
Mm.
I'm talking about Chino XL that made
Here to save you all.
No Complexion
Okay.
and Riot.
Yeah. Dope. I gotta definitely hear that out because you mentioned that album before.
Yeah, I bought the CD because I'm not really into streaming.
Right.
Like I'll I got YouTube Music, but I'm not really like the interface of some of these DSPs. They leave a lot to be desired as far as the way I want to experience music.
Right.
YouTube Music is way easier, but I just think that underneath it all, I think people like Locksmith, people like Ransom, people like Crooked Eye.
Mm-hmm.
I think once the dust settles, I think a lot of people will start looking for their music.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's the best possible outcome.
Facts.
Gotta keep the physical media alive.
Definitely. We got to, because if we don't, it's gonna be all nothing but streaming shit. So we gotta keep it alive.
With that shit. I need it. I need to have it for history, man. Y'all gotta keep this shit alive.
Facts.
I don't just collect shit just to, just be on YouTube or fucking Twitter and be like, oh, look what I got. Y'all need to subscribe to me. No, I collect it because I want to listen to it in different ways.
Facts. What y'all got coming up?
Plus, like to have anything tangible. That's another reason. Like, you can't hold a stream.
Right.
Yeah.
Like maybe some people do, but I don't cherish a stream like
Yeah.
going to Spotify and it's something about ripping the plastic off and
Mm-hmm.
and at least having it in your possession.
Facts.
The
Definitely.
booklet with the track listing too.
Yep.
Kids don't know nothing about the track listing being on the back of their, CDs and shit. So
Yeah. Facts. What y'all got coming up before we get out of here? What y'all got coming up?
I do got something coming up on my channel in the community tab. I will be most likely uploading Climax's 1987 album.
Mm.
So you just be on the lookout for that.
Is that the
And
joint with I Miss You?
that's the one with like Sexy,
Oh, okay.
Divas Need Love Too,
Dope.
Fab Attack, stuff like that.
Yeah. Dope. They highly underrated. We got to do some. Me and Reg got to talk about Climax. I don't know if we like Climax, so we got to talk about that.
He better like him.
Rocker, what you got coming up?
Oh, but right now I'm on a break.
Okay.
I decided to take a break. One, because I just started a new job, and there's so much to learn, and I want to give myself some time to get acclimated. Also, another reason is to be with my family right now.
Yeah.
Got some some loose ends to tie up, and I want to be there for my family.
That's important.
And also just take care of myself.
Yeah.
So I probably will get back to it by the end of a month or the first week of June. But I really want to make this month count.
Yeah. And thanks for being here again. Cause I know, like I said, like family comes first. That's more important than any live stream. So
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad that you was here. And anytime y'all want to go live, just let me know. I know me and Eric talked about going live before, so I'm like,
yeah, we need to do that because we like the Wonder Twins. When we come together, it'd be some shit.
We gotta do that for sure. Shout out to John Dixon for showing up. Angel Hall, he said, Ashante or Alicia Keys, who's more beautiful?
Both of them. Both can get
them.
pregnant.
I think Ashante look gorgeous now. She's better looking now than she was in her 20s to me.
Nah, she was fine back then too. We done been through this before.
I just something about her now, like older. I just like,
that MILF. and nigga Nelly a lucky man.
Right? Don't fuck that up, Nelly. Shit.
Irv Gotti crying in the corner, man. I used to hit that, man. I used to hit that back in 03, man. Murder Inc., man. That was a good time, man. I used to have all that, bruh.
I might do a live stream on Saturday.
Okay.
Because Saturday is like free comic book day. And I went to like the Black Comic Book Expo last week in Harlem and got some stuff, and it was like a lot of good new comic books coming out from like different artists. So I might do a live stream on Instagram. And shout out to the homie Harrison Comics. He's been hitting me up for weeks about going live because we talk comics, and so we might go live, if not Saturday then Sunday, but look out for that. And like I said, I'm gonna definitely come back and do some live streams on here. With
I do got some stuff coming from Turntable Lab, so just be on the lookout for that.
Dope. All right, y'all. I'll go to this 14-4 Knicks. I want them to blow out Philly. I gotta watch this game, but I was glad to do this before the game started. So thank you, Rocker, as always, and Eric, and shout out to John Dixon. Subscribe to the channel, like, share, all that, and we'll see you soon.
All right, peace.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, y'all.
No doubt. Peace.